To the DJIS International School Debate Finals. Let's start off by introducing our judges, Mr. Joseph, Mr. Ammar, and Mr. Ali Balbal. Our contestants at this time are 11 silver and 11 red. They will be debating over which is more important, talent or hardworking. Now, since this is the final round, you all know the rules, you all know the drill, so no need to go over them. However, the stress points I have to mention are that contestants are not allowed to put down any other contestant. You have to respect one another. You must raise your hand if it's not your time to speak. The team will lose a point for each interruption and for whispering while another speaker is talking. Having said that, now we'll start with the opening statement from 11 silver. Eleven silver. فيش مايك. Opening statement.
Test.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Hope everyone is having a good day. Gentlemen, may the better team win. Let's start this debate with a metaphor. A house is built using hard labor and hours of craftsmanship. Walls are put in place, doors, rooms aplenty, windows, and the roof. However, a house cannot stand on its own. All that time and effort is wasted if the house falls the second that it is constructed. Why might a house fall? A house will fall no matter how strong its foundation is, no matter how vigorously abutted are the walls, if it is constructed atop a soil that is not meant to support this type of construction. And same as talent, the ground is God-given. The talent is the ground upon which one lays the foundation of their hard work. Talent cannot be made. Genetics are what make up talent. And of course, one cannot alter his or her gene code. Talent, gentlemen, is a special, creative, natural ability. Aptitude. It is a special ability that allows someone to do something well. Talent also encompasses the maximum limit that a person may reach in their field. How talented a person is defines their maximum level for achievement in that field. Without talent, all else is notwithstanding. Of course, one can be born with talent, but without honing it, he or she may never discover it. So obviously, to be the best, you must undoubtedly have to work. However, you cannot work on something that is non-existent. Same as building a house on soil that is not able to withstand. Through a study done by CBC, scientists have tried subjecting untrained individuals to identical exercise regimes to see if the same amount of training would lead to varying results. Not surprisingly, different individuals saw different improvement. Some improved in leaps and bounds while others seemed stagnant. Some were talented while others were not. After statistical analysis, it was determined that 75% of athletic improvement was linked to the person's ability as a result of genetics. In other words, great athletes are born with great genes. One cannot argue that hard work is more important than talent, since someone may work an endless amount to reach his maximum, which is just 0.1 degrees above the degree that he had before he started to work hard. Through all of this, the main point is that it is illogical to argue that the house is more important than the ground that it very well rests upon. Because what grade is a house that will fall timber in a matter of seconds? Thank you.
Okay. 11 red.
Good afternoon, other contestants, judges. Our growing world, full of industrial economies and growing activities, such as recreational sports, music, and other varying degrees, All rely on certain skill sets and prerequisite abilities to accomplish tasks. In these cases, two factors come into play: hard work and talent. Among the two, it is easy to see that the former prevails as the most important aspect that ultimately decides overall success. Parallel to the famous adage, practice makes perfect, hard work is necessary to improve your skills within any field of activity or recreation. Even with so-called talent, hard work is needed to nurture these acquired skills to polish them to excellence. Thank you.
Okay. Now it's time for round two, where each of the team members will list their main arguments. Start with 10 silver.
Okay, so you don't need to work hard when you actually have true talent. And even if you work hard when you don't have talent, you won't be able to see the great results that talented people have. Hard work is a struggle where a great deal of effort or endurance is required. But if a person is truly talented at a task at hand, if the person is truly good at it, that individual won't need to struggle at all. If he or she just works normally and practices, but does not work hard, he does not have to do any strong effort when he's already good at the topic. It comes to him naturally because it is, after all, natural talent. Talent is, of course, more important than hard work. Yes, hard work is important, but we're talking about which is more important, and talent is definitely much more significant. One example is something we see at school a lot. Countless times we see many students who work very hard but still don't get top grades, while other talented students who work much less get much higher grades. According to howtolearn.org, students who had a higher IQ score results were 80% more likely to succeed than students who worked the same but had lower results. When people see someone who is successful, they don't say, oh, that guy is a hard worker. They say he's talented. We only refer to a person as a hard worker when we witness their struggle and then their success because they weren't good at it in the first place. But these people are exceptions. When a person is talented at something, it comes to him easily, and the path is already carved for him. He only has to take it. Another mistaken idea is that talent gives you a hard start, but hard work makes you finish the race. But actually, without talent, you're not even in the race. According to the New York Times, there was a study on many pianists. Some practiced, they all practiced, but they had different talent levels. The better pianists were 76 more approximately likely to succeed, the ones who were talented. For example, an artist who is talented at drawing, yes, if he doesn't work hard, he won't be able to maintain his talent, but he doesn't need to work hard, he just needs to work. He doesn't need to exert any hard work. He won't struggle while drawing or creating a masterpiece. It's merely practice for such a talented individual. Tell me, when you're good at something, do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy doing it? Yes, it's considered something easy for you, and that's the case with talented people. No hard work is needed when you're already good at something because it'll be easy for you. You could work as hard as you want on something, but if you don't have the hidden or innate ability to succeed, you won't be able to accomplish well in the field. A person won't be born with a talent for solving complicated physics problems, but he can be born with a talent of understanding quickly, remembering easily, both of which create a top student. That talented student won't need to work as much as it's easy for him or her, unlike a person who doesn't have that talent but only works hard. As stated by the New York Times, people are not equal. Those with innate talents, especially in terms of intelligence, tend to do better in life than their less talented colleagues. Many, many times we see really young children who have amazing voices, better than many singers right now. Do you think they've been working hard since they were able to speak? They've only existed on this planet for a couple of years. It's called talent, and that voice will make that kid a fortune and set him on a successful path for the rest of his life. If that kid worked hard instead of having talent for the same number of years, would his voice be better? It wouldn't even be comparable to the naturally beautiful voice. According to Vista Brokers, a recent study discovered that profoundly gifted people outshine those who have less natural talent, but are more dedicated to improving their abilities. So, to restate, the talented people outshined the hard workers. Scientists such as David Z. Hambrick and Elizabeth J. Maines in their own research promote the idea that the ultimate predictor of success is talent. For many, it's extremely easy to play the clarinet, or you may possess an instinctive flair for time management. Nobody taught you how to manage your time. You didn't work hard to be able to manage your time. But other people, no matter how hard they try, they still won't be able to manage their time or deal with people easily. They won't have the same social skills. Talents are everywhere. You can get better at something or learn a new skill, but it comes that you either have talent or not, and you'll never reach the level of that talented individual. You cannot compare hard work to talent because talent is a league of its own. Some people, I'm not saying in all cases because of course you're going to use that as evidence, that some people, they worked hard and they reached a high level as if they were talented, But the talented people, they didn't need to do all that hard work. They had the ability to be able to, the hard workers in the first place are talented people who have the ability to force themselves to work hard. Some people can't force themselves. They don't have the ability to persevere. They don't have the aptitude or natural ability or talent to persevere and force themselves to work hard. So hard work relies on talent. Furthermore, in addition to the previously mentioned benefits, talent actually is socially and economically important. Despite admitting to value hard work, we all actually have a soft spot for talent, whether we know it or we don't. In our hearts, we prefer naturals over strivers. According to the Scientific American Mind, 5 years ago, there was a study by a psychologist from the University College London School of Management. She reported a naturalness bias. After listening to 2 clips from the same classical music recordings, subjects who said at the beginning that they favored hard work, such as you say, preferred the clip that were told was performed by a musician who was naturally talented over the one described as having coming from a hard worker, even though they explicitly said that they valued hard work over talent. This also has a major economic effect. Subjects with business experience and novices alike said they preferred business ideas and entrepreneurs, when the entrepreneur was described as natural versus a striver, even though they might have had the same amount of skill. This bias was as strong, if not stronger, in business experts. One experiment found that a supposed striver needed 4.5, a supposed hard worker needed 4.5 more years of leadership experience, 28 more IQ points, or $39,000 more in capital compared with a natural, to be on equal footing when appealing for investment. All of this data point to a common belief that naturals have the potential to progress, and this has a great social and economic effect, has a great social and economic importance, and that's the topic at hand. This favors the naturally talented. Thank you.
Everyone has pros and cons. If you are talented in a lot of things, then there's a couple of things that you do badly, that you would do poorly in it. Talent defines who we are. Some of us are fast learners, some of us are stronger in the gym some of us are stronger without going to the gym, some of us have more endurance without even working out. That's the way we were created. We were not given everything, and that's why we must utilize what we're given, what we're good at. But to say that hard work is more important than talent is to undermine the truth of the gifts that we have that will make us succeed in life. A study found that there are plenty who work very hard on the chosen area, yet fail to excel. According to spring.org, the surprise was that practice only accounted to 12% of the individual differences in performance across all the different areas. That means that talent accounted to 88% of the performance. Talent can give you the direction to pursue in life, and hard work might help you through it. But surely, without talent, you will not necessarily fail, but you'll struggle unless you are naturally good at the task at hand, unless you're talented in that field. When a person is talented at something, that person can do it with great ease. You got to work smarter, not harder. You got to utilize what God gave you and spend your time efficiently using your talents. Some people who work hard do not necessarily work hard to excel, but only to counteract their lack of talent and weaknesses. Take this analogy, for example. If plant roots are not healthy, or a person is not talented at something, they both lack the proper foundation to grow or succeed as they are supposed to. No matter how much you water this plant, or in our case, hard work, the plant will not grow and the person will not achieve greatness. Yes, you can accomplish many things with hard work alone, but the great men, the truly great talented men such as Aristotle, Isaac Newton, or Leonardo da Vinci had to be talented in the first place before they worked hard. Greatness requires talent, not Thank you. Thank you.
خلاص خلصتوا؟ Level red.
Okay. Over the years, researchers have discovered that hard work and capacity is a major component of intellectual ability, predicts success in a wide variety of complex activities. Talent is never enough because in most cases, hard work always leads talent in the long run. Because just having talent is futile and does not do anything. One needs to apply the right talent in a right way in whatever you do, and applying our talents always require us to work our hardest and give our utmost dedication. I'll give you a few examples listed from the New York List Times of the 16 successful people who made it through hard work and dedication. I'd like to start off by talking about the Hong Kong business magnate Li Ka-shing. By the age of 15, Ka-shing had left school and was working in a plastic factory. He started telling Forbes and other companies on how he quickly became a salesman, outsold everybody else, and became the factory's general. By the age of 19, Ka-shing became the first teenager to withhold the company worth of $21 billion. Moving on, I'd like to talk about Dallas Mavericks, the owner of Mark Cuban. Dallas Mavericks did not take a vacation for 7 years while starting his first business. Cuban always writes on his blog that it took an incredible amount of work to benefit from his luck. When starting his first company, he routinely stayed up until 2 in the morning reading about new software and finding out about new investments and advancements in his field of play. Next up, I'd like to talk about the GE CEO, Jeffrey Emmett, who spent 24 years putting in 100 hours of weeks. A 2005 Fortune article on GEO CEO Emmett describes him as the bionic manager. The article highlights his incredible work ethic. He worked 100-hour weeks for 24 years straight. Emily strictly divides that time, devoting a specific portion of each day to deal with each part of his business.
Talent is useless unless you work hard to achieve success. If you got the talent, it doesn't mean you can wait to be great effortless. It is just like a boost for a good start. It means that you are not starting from step one or from scratch. Many talents went to waste because they were not developed. Hardworking people have a passion for what they are doing. Talent can get someone to a high level. However, hard work takes people above and beyond. This is because when someone is passionate, he or she is more motivated to take the work and create something new. Jeter. Derek Sanderson Jeter is an American former professional basketball player. Jeter and Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods, superstar athletes, say that the key to their success have been their hard work ethic. Author Truman Capote used to advise would-be authors to write as much as possible every day. Even hidden sick rock stars such as Keith Richards and Eddie Van Halen have talked about how when they were younger, they would lock themselves away for days on end to concentrate on making music.
Hard work is more important than talent, as talent will only carry one so far. If one is not willing to put in the work to harvest and cultivate their talent, then the talent itself is essentially useless. Hard work and perseverance will beat out pure talent any day.
You're done? Okay, now it's time for the cross-examination part, where each of the teams will have a chance to question the other. Start with 11 silver.
Okay, so you didn't explain why it's more important. You just said that this guy said he achieved it through hard work. This guy achieved it through hard work. Just kept stating names, 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 names. Out of 7 billion people population, only these people you could find. I'm afraid you understood the topic wrong as well. The question at hand here is which is more important. Yeah, if we had a kind of mix between the two, a hardworking, talented person, yes, that would be the best you could get. But if you could only choose one, there is no option other than talent. To be able to do something is much better than working so hard and you have a high possibility, a high chance to fail. When you say that we need the topic is which is more important. Hard work can be defined as any activity that you find difficult and tedious. So how can a talented person find something that he's good at as difficult and tedious? You said that a talented individual won't be able to maintain his talents without hard work. When an individual is talented at something, it comes to him easily. He just needs to work and not work hard, as you stated before. When you're good at something, you can only enjoy the time spent doing it. Yeah, you might have a bad day or even an awful match, but overall, a football player will enjoy the sport because he's so naturally good at it. Now, this brings us to another point. When we say someone is naturally good at something, we don't mean he's born, for example, with an ability to draw. We mean that he was born with the talent to be able to use his hands, to be able to understand from an artist's perspective. That's his talent. Do you think that if you worked hard enough, you could ever be as fast as Usain Bolt? No, it's simple. He is talented at running, and his body has the ability to become faster, and he utilizes that talent. Some people are born strong, some people are born smart, and you have to build upon that, but not through hard work. You don't need hard work. Yeah, you might use it, you might improve yourself with it, but talent is what got you there in the first place. In the article, You Can't Teach Speed, Sprinters Falsify the Deliberate Practice Model of Expertise, published in the online journal PeerJ, analysis of studies on the role of innate variation in athletic performance found that the exceptional speed prior to formal training is a prerequisite for becoming a world-class sprinter, such as Usain Bolt. They had the talent at the beginning, and they built upon that talent. But they had the talent. If they just built upon something they didn't have, they wouldn't build anything. You cannot acknowledge the importance of natural talent. You got to acknowledge the importance of natural talent rather than all this wishful thinking. Tell me truly, if what you said was really the case, why aren't you working every day for 24 hours for an amount of weeks that you said to become successful, if that could be possible? Why are you still here? Now let's look at the ultimate example of true talent, singers. Do you think if you kept singing, your voice would change? Yeah, you'd improve a few octaves, but you'd still have a bad voice. Do you think if you worked hard enough, you could be a singer? Do you think if you trained hard enough, you could be taller? Not even in your dreams would that happen. Yeah, you could increase your sound range or be able to sing properly, but you'll still sound terrible. So let me tell you now, what's more important, to train your voice or be talented and have the voice that can actually be trained in the first place? It's obvious now that talent is much more important than hard work. So natural talent is not a myth. Hard work, commitment, and perseverance can get you very far, but natural talent is the trait that differentiates the best from the good ones. Has Bill Gates achieved greatness just because of hard work? Was he stupid and then he just worked hard and got whatever he wanted? Have football players achieved greatness just because of hard work? Singers, musicians, actors, kids, toddlers, they can fake their emotions. They're good actors, but not all of them, the talented ones only. Some people are born to pursue a particular field in their life. They're just programmed for a particular field and have an instinct for it. You might be a good speaker, you might be a fast thinker, you might be able to calculate hard problems in your mind. Talent creates opportunities. People who find their natural talent become great, and those who don't can become successful, but not great, even if they work as hard as they can. Now what's better, becoming great or becoming normal, successful? There are many hardworking people, but not as much talented. There are many average people, but not as much successful. Thank you.
Okay. 11 red. هيك هي.
First, you mentioned that intellectual ability enabled hard work. Yes, because talent is intellectual ability. You cannot disregard talent. Let's think what would happen if we had a world that was out of talent. Without talent, we would have no differences. Everyone would work hard or however much they wanted to work, and everyone would be at the same place, similar to communism. But without hard work, there would be differences and people would have different levels. One thing that sparked my interest about what your arguments was when Michael Jordan was referenced. Michael Jordan was a natural talent, and all his earlier coaches saw him as a natural talent. And according to SiteCell, on why people fail, many people fall flat on their faces even though they have worked harder than is humanly possible. So hard work is not the distinguishing factor. Thank you.
Level red. 11 red. Hello.
All right, as you mentioned with your examples, many actors and many very famous and high-ranking people nowadays worked off of their own talent. Well, for me, from what I see, is that, and also you, just to interrupt myself, is that you also mentioned the idea that what would happen if we practiced every day, continuously? Well, the general idea with hard work is that you can actually practice, or generally it's normal to practice every day, but under short bursts. So it doesn't have to be continuous. In another sense, Bill Gates did still build upon his own talent or his own ideas. We're not disregarding the idea of talent, but working upon it kind of provides the larger percentage or the percentile of the composition. Many actors, like you also mentioned, though they had somewhat natural and fluent ideas and movements, also may have also been practicing under their own right, building up their own strengths and finding their own weaknesses, but still working hard to build towards it. In that case, in all these cases actually, hard work does seem to be the larger factor, the more important factor between the two. Thank you.
You done?
So you said in order to nurture the talent, you have to build upon the talent. That's exactly what we're saying. Hard work. You need to work hard in order to maintain your talent, because talent is just a higher threshold than others. If you don't work upon it, then there's no point in talent. And in regards to what you said about the working 24 hours a day, that's not necessarily what it means. It's just 10,000 hours, the 10,000 hour rule. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to work every day until you achieve the 10 hours.
كمل. Level red.
Conclusion. Yeah, okay. You said we didn't show how hard work is more important than talent, and you call these names only just a bunch of names that are meaningless. But obviously you did not listen to the great achievements that these names have made. All of these people started from literally scratch, and with a bit of talent, the talent in this case was only a boost to what became something great in the future. These people practiced constantly with extra dedication to what they like, to what they love. Without the constant hard work and dedication to what they want to do and to what they want to be in the future, these people would never have reached and would never have achieved such great standards in life. They also, with the extra passion and extra dedication to what you want to be, without the excessive hard work, one can never achieve such great standards.
Kevin Durant, a professional basketball player, says hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
Okay. 11 Silver, do you have anything to reply or you done? Yes, yes.
Okay, so we already talked about that misguided statement, but it seems you weren't paying attention. You don't need to work hard when you actually have true talent. And you said he started off with talent. If he started off with talent, then talent was his foundation. It was what made him be able to work hard and succeed. Thank you.
Correct. Many actors saw success due to their talent. Talent was their foundation. Your arguments are hypothetical. One cannot build upon something that is non-existent. Referring back to the house, no matter how great the house is, if the soil is not steady, it cannot hold the construction that is being built upon it, it will fall. The house will fall. There is no point to all of the work hard work being put into the house. Achievements, yes, these achievements that you talk about, you stated they started with little talent. No matter how little the talent is, if there was no talent, where would they be if this talent was non-existent? They would work hard, but where would they reach? Nowhere. So talent is more important. In order to see which is more important, let's remove each one from the equation separately. Remove talent. You work hard, add working hard, add more work, but where would you reach? 0.0001? But if you have talent is the main point. It is the X in the factor. And I'm glad you mentioned the 10,000 rule. The common wisdom and self-help books say that anyone who completes the 10,000 hours, the 10 years rule, and their chosen discipline will excel. But this 10 years equivalent expert formula is not true, and it is refuted by many studies. Most importantly, that a study was conducted and there was a surprise in the study. The surprise was that practice only accounted for a mere 12% of individual differences. And in professional performances, it saw less than 1% importance. So it cannot be logical that hard work is more important than talent, because you may work hard as much as you want, but if you do not have the foundation, you are going nowhere. Thank you.
Okay. Level red. Guys, move on. نعم. هم زعيم مش أنا. Judges مش أنا. مش فارقة معي.
Though we did mention that talent does provide, or along with your statement, that talent does provide somewhat of a solid base to start on, I somewhat doubt that talent alone provides one of the biggest bases. Passion, along with hard work, can also provide one of like similar results, especially with many of the higher end people, high ranking statusing people out there. Thank you.
You said that the connection of both will be the best, but our topic is which is more important, talent or hard work. If you take every part alone, talent alone will not take you anywhere. But hard work, you can work hard to reach your goal. With passion and dedication, you can reach your goal. That's it.
Okay. Now it's time for the closing statements, where each of the teams will sum up what they're voting on. 11 Silver, you have 2 minutes.
Our topic today was which is more important, talent or hard work? I cannot stop to refer to my earlier metaphor of the house. You can have a house and you can build upon it as much as you want, but if the soil cannot support this structure, it will fall. All of your arguments include talent. Started off with talent. You're saying that all of our arguments, we said that the hard work plus talent is what's important. But you're saying the same thing. You're saying that hard work is what's important if you have talent. What if you don't have talent? You're going nowhere. So in the end, it is logical that hard work is not more important than talent. Talent is more important. Thank you.
Okay. 11 Red. 2 minutes. Yeah.
People will consider you talented, but what's really happened is that you've become a master through repetition, belief, and dedication. It is the best way to be, because then you know that when you've made it in whatever avenue of life you're going down, it is well deserved. You've fought your way through each step to the top, and now you can enjoy being the king of kings in any field you can. Now you keep mentioning about the house, but how can we build upon? How can you rely upon the foundation only itself? With the foundation as well as with constant hard work to build the house, then we can build an empire. Just relying on the foundation will lead to nowhere. Therefore, hard work is definitely more important to strive in life. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The final results: 11 Silver, 42 points, and 11 Red with 29 points. Congratulations.
Thank you. Allah يسلمكم.